Welcome back, everyone. We are at Agents Rising, day 2 of our Overwatch tournament here at the Esports Arena. Our teams are just getting set up. We have Cloud9 versus Team Liquid coming up next on stage. But before we get to that, we have an interview with 2 esports personalities, Overwatch players Veritech and OneEye. Guys, introduce yourselves. Tell us a little bit.
Well, it's nice to be here. My name is Veritech. I'm a former competitive Heroes of the Storm player and avid Overwatch fan. And OneEye and myself are both from Colorado. You can see the clutch gear, so we're trying to represent the hometown boys.
Yeah, a little hometown pride there.
A little hometown pride. We have a podcast called The Guardians, and we do it every Friday at 5 p.m. Pacific. And I am also a live streamer on YouTube Gaming, where I live stream 7 days a week Overwatch, at least 4 hours a day. So, this is my wingman. So.
Yeah, I'm there most of the time. I don't have a streaming setup myself, but we definitely interact with the community a lot, especially through the show. We like to take a look at the competitive side of it, but try to keep it friendly and open so everyone can participate and join in.
Well, you guys are from Colorado. Did you come all the way out here for this weekend, for this event?
We did.
Mm-hmm.
We did.
As a matter of fact.
Overwatch is that awesome that we just had to come out and support it in person.
Well, you seem to be a big Overwatch fan. I mean, 7 days a week, more than 4 hours a day.
Yep.
That's a lot of time. What have you taken away from the game in that time?
I've taken away a lot. There's a lot at the lower levels, and I actually do a how-to for Overwatch for beginners, kind of a video series I've been doing. And I notice a lot of people really lack a lot of the fundamentals. You know, you see how Tracer's played super fast, and it's like, you know, Lucio, well, you got his crossfade aura, and I really just try and break that down and say, well, you don't really have to play that fast. You know, you do you, and it'll kind of grow. So I've noticed that a lot of people have a ton of passion about the game, and they're constantly looking to improve themselves. So I really try and focus on that when I do my live streaming, and just break it down, you know, explain what I'm doing, what my thought process is. You know, I'm not super high level, but I'm competitive myself, and I want to make sure that other people can kind of take away some lessons from what I'm doing.
And, well, with the Friday podcast, what is your main focus? Do you kind of just talk anything and everything Overwatch? Do you focus on competitive, meta?
Anything and everything is honestly a pretty good term for it. We like to follow the competitive scene because, especially being ex-competitive players ourselves, it's something that really interests us. Esports is growing so dramatically in this, North America, that it's just exciting to see it all. So it's something we like to cover since a lot of people don't have the time to do it themselves. And then as far as like casual and fan things like that, I mean, that's what's great about Overwatch is everybody who's playing it comes from such a diverse gaming background. Like I myself have an extensive history in MOBAs, and Veritech is his sort of things, but we see people from Team Fortress and Counter-Strike, and it's nice to bring the community together. So we try to engage in that as well.
It's like the family is coming home. Everyone found the one game they can agree on. Where did you each come from? You're telling us about coming from competitive heroes. Where did you come from, OneEye?
I, back in Season 2, did a little bit of competitive League of Legends with Dirtnap a little bit, and then I also did a year-long contract for Heroes of the Storm, and that's actually where I met Veritech. We used to scrim each other a lot, and when we would meet each other at events and things like that, it was always like, oh, face to a name, that's great, so.
He says scrim, I say beat.
It was for practice, for fun.
Yeah,
There's no winning and losing.
Right.
Well, you guys both working so hard on the stream and working hard on the podcast. Has anyone reached out to you and said thank you for what you've done or for your early education lessons?
It's actually funny because we're not a huge podcast. We're compassionate, but we're passionate, but we're not huge. And I actually had someone come up to me when I was in Denver, and he goes, "Oh my God, you're Veritech." I had to kind of look at him like, excuse me? Like,
who's Veritech?
Yeah, and he goes, no, you do the podcast. Like, I watch the podcast, and I listen to it on my way into work. I work weekends, and I listen to it, and you and OneEye, you do your stream, and it's really awesome. Like, you seem like you have a lot of passion for the game, and it just kind of, it amps me up, and I went, well, awesome. I'm glad you like it. Like, that really makes me want to do better. So, I've had some people kind of thank us, and it's kind of my way of thanking the community, too, is it's just dumping all of my time and effort into just hyping Overwatch to be where it truly should be, at the top of the ladder. So
I'm right there with you on that one.
The community has been really good too. We've had positive feedback from players. We've had positive feedback from pros. We interviewed Minstrel on the show. Like, we really try to get everybody in there. I've had issues with shows that just focus too much on one thing, and it kind of narrows the audience. So we just want to make sure everybody actually gets to enjoy Overwatch as much as we get to.
Yep, and you mentioned kind of cheekily, but it's true. You're another one who is so inspired by Overwatch. You poured a whole bunch of time in early tournaments. I think I'm about 3,000 deep in Overwatch right now. Money-wise, there's a lot of passion that this game has sort of pulled out of people and brought into this space that we're all going to share. So how important is it for you guys to, now that esports is, now that Overwatch is growing, now that the community around it is growing, what do you want for this community, and how are you bringing home these ideals or these ideas?
One of the biggest things I've noticed about the Overwatch community, both casual and competitive, is it's just so positive. Everybody just loves everybody. And I mean, you have the people that are super hyper competitive, and you run into them from time to time, but compared to other gaming titles, everybody's just so happy. It's like Overwatch is just like the happy game, essentially. And even when you lose a match, everyone's just so friendly. You have your way to vote for MVP at the end of the match, and you don't really run into a whole lot of negativity, and it's just refreshing. It's a breath of fresh air, and so that's what we try and focus on. And it's just like, well, you're positive. Let's stay positive. And you want help. I'm more than willing to help you out. And if I need help, I turn to OneEye. I have other friends in the community that we play together, and we try and have as much fun as possible. Because that's just what we notice about Overwatch.
I think everyone's been waiting for this game
Yeah.
for so long. It's the arena shooter in 2016. It's back.
Yeah.
And, that's actually a huge deal for a lot of people, myself included.
I think a big part of it is the fact that it's Blizzard. Like, when we talk about video game companies, like Blizzard has such a long history of pleasing its fans, and they still update Diablo 2, you know what I mean? So a lot of people were concerned, it's going to be an online-only PvP game, there's not going to be support, they're not going to care about the community. You don't get that with Blizzard, because they really genuinely do.
Absolutely. They are a big reason that I have so much faith in this game. They really put the love and the care into it. We have a map draft going on right here. Guys, we've done a lot of map drafts. You kind of know how this is going to go. I feel like we're going to play on Kings Row and maybe
Hollywood's been banned out, though. So
they were just sick of it. They were like, no more.
Yesterday we saw Kings Row probably like 15 times. Today it just feels like Hollywood, Hollywood, Hollywood. We've been heading there so frequently. But guys, before we get into the game, give some shout outs, and how can people watch the podcast? How can people tune into the stream?
Well, we live stream every Friday, and I live stream every day, but it's on youtube.com and gaming.youtube.com/VeritechGG for good game, promoting that positivity. And you can also follow me on Twitter at VeritechGG. And OneEye is with me at least 5 days a week on the same spot.
All the time.
Different Twitter, but you can find us there. We also upload to iTunes, Google Music, and Spreaker as well. So if you can't watch live, you can listen maybe on your way into work. And
For me, you can always reach me over on Twitter at NA1EYE. That's a very easy place to get a hold of me. And then also around YouTube, besides Veritech, working on his channel, I also work with a group called Multitap. So if retro gaming is anything you're interested in, you can find me there too.
Well, fantastic. OneEye, Veritech, it's been great to get to know you. I hope a lot more people check out your podcast and your streams. You have a great community, it sounds like. And guys, we are about to head to Nepal, so I'm going to throw us up to the casters. Let's get this game going.